Welcome to AHA Math and Science. In today's video, we'll be talking about the stock price of Apple. Apple currently is the largest company in the world with a market cap of $2.3 trillion. And it's also the largest holding in Warren Buffett's stock portfolio, making up 39% of his entire portfolio. And over the years, Apple stock has rewarded its shareholders handsomely. And even in the last 15, 16 years also, since January of 2017, its stock price has increased more than 50-fold. And since Berkshire started to buy Apple stocks in the first quarter of 2016, the stock price has increased for more than 6-fold. So there's a little doubt that the price of Apple is on a very nice uptrend, and there's a little doubt that it can be a very good long-term holder, given that the company is continuing to innovate its products and bring these products to customers. But what about the price action in the intermediate term? What happened to its stock price? Will it tank? Will it just kind of goes up? And what will be the possible price we could expect if it sort of kind of goes down? So here in this video, we try to answer these questions. So in order to actually see clearly what's really going on with the price action, we're gonna plot the stock price versus time on log plot. This is because for any investment, like a stock price or a major index, it follows the so-called compounding formula. And I have a video that I just made recently talking about the long-term compound return of S&P 500. If you're interested, you can click the link below. So it follows when the price versus time is plotted on a log scale, it follows a very nice straight line. And this is basically a manifestation of the compounding formula. So in this case, when we see the price kind of goes up and down, seems random, but it does follow more or less like a straight line. In fact, the straight line fits the data so good. The R square, which is a measure of how good the fit is, to fit the data, we found the R square is 0.96. If it's 1, it's going to be a perfect fit. So this is really a decent R square value, and meaning that the straight line fits the data very nicely. And also shown here are the two sort of pink line here, dashed pink lines. These are just not draw them randomly. They're actually 2 times the sigma. Sigma is the standard deviation. When it's plus 2 sigma, when it's negative 2, minus 2 sigma, below and above the trend line. So if the price just kind of goes around the trend line randomly, doing random work, then we expect the probability for the price fall between the plus and minus 2 sigma is 95%. In other words, there's only 5% probability for the price to go below it or go above it. And indeed, that's the case. We see like very rarely. Here is during the 2008 financial crisis, we see falls below it. Here just kind of slightly goes above it. And most of the time, it's just kind of between the plus minus 2 sigma. Well, this information is nice, but it does not really help us to predict what happened to the price of Apple stocks in the intermediate term, because it is still on around the trend line. It can go up and down, and it still be totally possible statistically speaking. Right? So in order to try to get some sense of what may happen to the stock price in the intermediate term, let's add 2 more lines. Here now we have added 2 dashed black lines. These are 1 standard deviation above and below the trend line. So if the stock just kind of does random work around the trend line, then we expect the probability for the price for between plus and minus sigma is 68%. In other words, the 32% probability, or like about 1/3 of a chance for the price to fall above or below the 1 sigma or 1 standard deviation line. And you see that sometimes it does go above, sometimes go below it, go above, and here go below it, here go below it, here go above. So this probability do exist. And I like to point out that is something that is very remarkable, kind of like what this plus and minus 1 sigma trend line tells. And look at these green arrows. These are positions when the stock price just touches on the -1 standard deviation trend line. And then you can see that clearly the stock price just kind of rebounds, just kind of bounce back up. Touches on it, bounce back up. And the very recent one is in January of 2023, it just touches on it and then bounce back up. You can clearly see that. But there are also cases when the price breaks below the trend line, the -1 sigma trend line, and then falls down a lot and even break through the 2 sigma trend line. Falls through the -1 sigma trend line and then falls towards what? The 2 sigma trend line. And then 2 scenarios when it falls below the 1 sigma trend line, but it does not fall down towards the 2 sigma, but it still falls down appreciably. And the very recent one is doing the pandemic in March 2020. So we can clearly see that this information. So the 1 sigma trend line has a very important meaning here. So what happens to the stock price, for the present time? So, well, certainly it can go up because it's still within the trend line. It's very close to the trend line, so it can go up. But if it does go down and it's try to retest the -1 sigma trend line, and furthermore, if actually break through it, then there's a high probability the price may actually fall further and even fall below or the 2 standard deviation trend line. So the price we watch is whether the price will break through the 1 standard deviation trend line. This is important because currently the macro environment is not that great, and so stock price are under pressure. So there's this possibility that the price may fall below the 1 standard deviation trend line. So the key level we're going to watch is basically the close of the close price on January 5th, which is at 125. So it falls below the 125, and then we have to be careful because it could fall below even towards the 2 sigma trend line, and that's going to represent a very good opportunity for you to if you want to buy more stocks, and that's going to be very attractive price, and it will be falling around the 100 level. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please do not forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our channel so that you can watch more videos like this one. And thank you for watching.